Hello and welcome to Bridging the Gap. And we have with us today Mr. Nichel Greer from the DePaul House. Nick, welcome.
All right, how are you, Mr. Johnson? Thanks for having me here.
Nick, cut to Mr. Johnson. You make me think my dad's still in the studio. No, Todd is fine. But Nick, the DePaul House, could you explain to us like the mission and what you guys do at the DePaul House?
Yes, DePaul House is a transitional housing unit for 27 men. We've been in existence for actually next week, April 3rd, will be our 4th year that we'll be celebrating. What we do is DePaul House is not a shelter. We transition people from this shelter system to their own independent living units. And we help men transition into that transition.
So when a person comes to the DePaul House, first of all, are they referred to you from a shelter? Or?
Yes, they come from either a shelter or some other facility. We get a lot of the good guys that they feel like if you're at a shelter and you're doing a lot of things you're supposed to be doing and saving some money, they'll contact DePaul House and we'll put them on our waiting list. They'll say, hey, well, this guy, John, he's a good guy. Like, we're referring him to you, and we'll put him on the list and we'll interview him. And when you come in, you need to know what we expect at DePaul House. We focus on services, and we understand that our staff is very cultural competent, and we try to treat the whole individual. And it's not like, say, going to buy a suit, one size you can shop off the rack, because it's a lot. We get a lot of different people, and we have to develop treatment plans and goals and things of that nature for each individual, because each individual has different needs.
Right.
And that's what we try to do.
So at the DePaul House, your particular job title is?
I am a peer specialist / case manager.
Explain that to me.
Out of the 27 men, there are 3 case managers, and we normally split the workload divided by 3. So we split the workload, and then we have some interns. So right now, I'll say we work with about 7 to 9 people, each case manager, and we assist the individual with whatever they need assistance with. Everybody's not there for the same thing. So as we meet with them on our case managers, we have to meet with them on a regular basis, and we touch base with them. They actually develop their own goals and treatment things about what they want to accomplish, and we just assist them in that process.
So I go to the DePaul House, and the first night I'm there, first day, what are the criteria? Like you, for instance, you said you're going to share what you expect from each client.
Well, yes. Before you come to come and live there, we have to engage you on an interview. It's an interview before you come as an actual resident. Okay. So at the interview, we fill some stuff out. Like, it's not anything where you have to pass it or anything. It's just that we want to know a little bit more about you, and we want you to share a little bit about yourself and what your goals are. It's like a relationship. You know, us two are coming together, yet if we're headed in this direction and you have a totally different agenda, then you're probably not for our program.
Has there ever been anyone who comes to the DePaul House and was not successful through the program, or did not meet their goals, or was not able to stay for the duration of the program?
Yes. I don't think it's a program in existence that can say that they haven't had anyone fit that particular criteria, but for DePaul House, over the 4 years of existence, we do have an 80% rate of putting people into their own individual units.
So in that 4-year span, how many men have you all serviced?
Approximately 180.
Impressive. I went to a graduation last year at the DePaul House with another gentleman who works at LaSalle, and I was highly impressed with the men who were there working in the kitchen and serving food and so forth. I just was really kind of awestruck by the fact that these were men who kind of got back on their feet and reacclimated themselves. So the work that you do you occasionally run into a client who's going through the program? You might see him out somewhere and he says, hey man, thank you. I want to thank you for what you do. All the time.
But you know, I have to thank some of my coworkers because they were employees there when I was a client there. I left there 2 years ago. I returned to December 4th as a staff member.
Wow. That's right. Now, are most of the staff members former clients?
No, I'm actually the only one.
So you must have been a really special guy then for them to call you back and ask you to work there?
That's what they say. I don't think so.
You're
too
being
much,
modest.
But
You're being
yeah,
modest.
they did some good work with me.
Now, my understanding is that while they're at the DePaul House, they live there.
Yes, sir.
So they have what, apartment, or is it a house style?
Unit. They have their own room, their own keys. And this is something that guys coming from the shelter system, as they come in and transition, they blown away by the fact that they have their own privacy and their own key. And that's a big thing for a person coming from the situation a lot of us come from.
So when a person comes to the DePaul House, how long might they be in the program from start to finish? It varies from client to client, or?
It varies from client to client, but we also have to be held accountable to the city. So we have to report certain things in on the HMIS system. But I would say that we're looking to move people out between 6 to 9 months.
6 to 9 months.
Yes.
Now some may stay a little longer.
Yes.
Some may stay a little shorter.
Yes. Worst case scenario is a year. That's the worst case. Longest we'll absolutely hold someone is a year. But it's some extenuating circumstance that may warrant someone to have to stay that long.
Right.
They may have some credit history from, student loans or whatever that they have to take care of before they can even move into an apartment. They may be some debt they had accrued in their former life.
So now, the DePaul House, I've been to your facility. I didn't view any of the rooms, but I was able to go in the general area where people eat and so forth, the common area. I was just impressed with the staff and the clients. I almost couldn't tell who was who because they treated each other in such a cordial way. It wasn't a thing where the staff was up here and the clients were down here.
Exactly.
Could you elaborate on that for me? How's that working for you at your
Well, it works great for me from a person having been in a lot of these facilities. Just the fact that I have a person who works here who treats me as an equal individual, it boosts my self-esteem, because I'm a guy coming from the streets, and some of us have slept in the park or the concourse or wherever, and we're not feeling that good about ourselves. But when we come around and we have people treat us like human beings, and our staff is very culturally diverse, and we offer the peer support. And we pride ourselves on not being staff, but being peers who support our other peers.
Now, I know one side of your title is case manager. The other side is peer specialist, is that?
Yes.
So could you explain a little bit about what that entails?
Peer specialist has a lot to do with the system transformation and how they're taking people who have a history of, whether it be substance abuse, mental health issues, prior incarcerations. It's a lot of stuff. And we taking individuals like this, and they found that these people have a wealth of information and life experience that could be applied to a workplace if we could just get them stabilized. It was a time I was on mental health medication. I could not work. And this process worked for me. And now I help people like me.
Wow. So giving back for you, what type of personal reward has it been for you to give back to clients who one day, at one particular time, you yourself were a client? So what's that like for you personally?
I mean, the reward is immeasurable because I tell people all the time, I don't really go to work and have a job. This is something that I would love to do, just to hang out with people, talk to them, hear their problems. They tell you some stuff. We bust it up, laugh. And I can't believe I get paid for this. Like, this is what I do, and I can't ever see me doing anything else but this.
Wow, amazing. Now, the DePaul House, let's just say, for example, someone who's viewing this program who might be homeless or who might know someone in their family who's having a tough time of it, they wouldn't call the DePaul House first, would they? They would call one of the shelters first? Is that?
Yes, they would have to go to the shelter system, the Office of Emergency Shelter Services, either 802 North Broad or 2601 North Broad for men.
2601
North Broad.
North Broad for men.
Yes. And
upon arrival there, it's just a chance that they may be at a later date placed into.
Well, they would put them somewhere in the Philadelphia shelter system. They may go to Alley House, Fernwood, Our Brother's Place. But once they go there, and then they would have a case manager at that site who would work with them. And as they see they're trying to do some things and maybe find a job or go to school or whatever,
Right.
they would say, hey, I know a nice place where you can go. And like, say if you want to go to school, you can't study in a sheltered dorm environment. Like DePaul House is a great place for you to go because you'll have your own room. You could do your studying.
Right.
You could save some money, and you know it might be a better environment for you. So those are the people that we get referred to us a lot. People are just set themselves apart at the shelters that they came from.
That's great to hear that they work and come back and reacclimate themselves. Now, the graduation, how is that determined?
The graduation is determined. Once you move out into your place and are stabilized, we don't just move a person and then we're done with them. We have CTIs, case management, after you're actually discharged.
Okay.
And I have a great boss, Sandra Guillory, and she has just brought this in. So now we're finding out, because we were housing people and we were giving them, you know, they get their housing and then we would check in every month or so. But now they have a case manager in touch with them on a constant basis because we're finding they really need a lot of support once they move in, because
Right.
a lot of them come from programs where they had to be held accountable and had curfews and things of that nature. And then when you move on your own, it's a lot of freedom. So we find that like a lot of people need support in those areas too.
So if someone wanted to call the DePaul House to maybe volunteer or find out more information about the DePaul House, how would they get in touch with you?
They can always call DePaul House and for any information they need at
What's that number?
215-438-3991.
Okay.
Our director is Sandra Guillory.
Okay. 215-438-3991. Okay. And then they would be able to plug in and find out, you know, because somebody might be viewing this program and says, I'm doing great, I'm having a great time, I'm retired, but maybe I have a few hours a week where I can volunteer and find something to do at the DePaul House that would enrich
Sure.
their lives.
We always welcome that. We have a psychiatrist who just volunteered to see some guys for a few sessions because we need some guys. They don't have medical insurance to see a psychiatrist. He's a retired psychiatrist. He comes in. But I mean, if you watch we'll take anybody that wants to volunteer and help.
That's great.
Sure.
That's great. Because there may be somebody sitting here now watching this program and says, you know, I think I can give a couple hours, especially those who are in the retired community who perhaps may have more freedom of time.
Most definitely.
But Nick, I thank you. The work that you do, of course, you know, I've seen it firsthand at the DePaul House. Great work. Great work. Continued success to you and all the staff at the DePaul House. And me personally, if there's anything I could ever do for the DePaul House, please don't hesitate to contact me, because I think what you guys do and the service that you provide is great. It's a great service. And hats off and thumbs up, 2 thumbs up to the people at the DePaul House. And thank you for being on the show today, Nick. I really appreciate it. Nick Greer from the DePaul House, a peer specialist and case manager. Don't you go away. We'll be right back after these few commercials.
University Communication Center, home of LaSalle TV, located on scenic South Campus at LaSalle University near St. Mucian International Institute. St. John Newman Residence Hall, a stone's throw away from the Communication Department building. And of course, Treetops Cafe, one of LaSalle's many fine dining halls. With all of these conveniences, make the LaSalle TV studio your next stop, but don't take our word for it. Ask a resident. I'm nuts about LaSalle TV! LaSalle TV, you know you watch.
Want to watch the most jaw-dropping shows on television? Check out LaSalle TV. You know you watch.
Got a feeling that I can't deny.
Little kids be like, that sounds a baby. Thoughts deep, scuba. My mind is free, opposite of Cuba. Take me for my money or my fame. Papa, don't try, see right through ya. 4 lawsuits, 1 year. 2 down, 2 to go. Fame expensive, yeah. Good thing, I know. I was built for the war. I was built to be all yours. I was released as a rebel. My mother's a fighter. The as a G and my sister's a yeah, that's how we do.
Hello and welcome back to Bridging the Gap. We're talking to the good folks from the DePaul House, a great social service agency that helps men all across this city. We just talked to Nichel Greer, who is a peer specialist, but now we want to talk to you, John. John, you are a current resident of the DePaul House.
Yes, sir.
John Lewis, welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
John, could you tell us a little bit about your journey and how you got to the DePaul House, and then we'll kind of go into what's been going on with you since you've been at the DePaul House. But how did you originally?
Well, Todd, I moved here from South Carolina, and I got here without expectations of, what was going to happen in my life, to being that the economy was so bad. So as I got here, I went through some jobs, and financially, I had a job, but it wasn't supporting me enough to pay my rent, so I had to find a shelter. And through God, only He, works in my life, man. He put me in the Whosoever Gospel Mission. And
Shelton Avenue.
Yes, Shelton Avenue, yes, sir. And it's a great place. I can't do nothing but give, high marks for them. And I went through their program, probably like 9 months. They put you, it's like a learning center. So I went through their program. Through school, they put you to work, they get you ready, spiritually, they get you ready personally and all. And prior to graduating the program there, they gave me a job there. So after I graduated, they referred me to DePaul House, and I was thankful for DePaul House for having me.
Now, when you got to the DePaul House, had you set any personal goals or financial goals for yourself that you were going to attain while you were there?
Yes. My goals were to put myself back in perspective and to be a productive citizen of Philadelphia, as far as having a job, joining the church, which I did, and I'm currently ushering at my church. Just wanting a place of my own, to be able to be, on my own and establish my life.
And you did that, and what length of time were you at the DePaul House? How long have you been there?
I've been there 5 months now.
5 months?
Yes.
And so that 5 months, you kind of have seen a lot of things turn around in your life? Or?
Yes, sir. I'm currently working 2 jobs now. So once again, God is good, and I've recently got engaged. So
wow.
So I can't say nothing but just pure blessings have rained on me.
So you joined the church, gotten engaged,
Yes.
have 2 jobs. Well, 2 out of 3 is not bad. Yeah,
Yes, sir.
that's right. The engagement part, I don't know. We'll wait to see what that chapter unfolds
Right,
in your life. But,
exactly.
but that's great, though. All joking aside, that's great to see that you have gotten yourself focused and are doing the things. Is there any chance that you'll go back to South Carolina, or are you here to stay?
No, well, I was born here in Philadelphia, but I have family in South Carolina too, so I have to go back and visit. I have kids and grandkids there.
Because that's a great story to tell of your life journey, and how the impact of the DePaul House has had on your life. Could you tell us like a personal story of something that happened when you were at the DePaul House to let you know, okay, I'm at the right place?
Well, as far as the day when I got there, the first day I got there, it was like I was accepted, like they already knew me. Prior to me coming, it was the atmosphere was just so comfortable and the people were so nice, and I just felt like, okay, well, I made it from the Whosoever Gospel Mission, and I made it to the DePaul House, and from here it's got to be glory and look forward, never look back.
Right.
And I just have to thank each and every facility, from the mission to DePaul House, because without them and without God in my life, I wouldn't be where I am now.
That's great. That's great to hear. Now, getting back into, working your way back into the mainstream, it was a lot of people, I'm sure, who helped you along the way or gave
Yes,
you
sir.
the assistance and guidance that you need along. But at the DePaul House in particular, was there any one individual that you could look at and say, hey, this person, this woman, this man really kind of helped me to turn that corner and get on that right path?
Yes, my counselor, Michelle, she has been there on my corner since I got there. And Reggie, Gerald, he's a counselor too, but he's more like my mentor. He's always in my ear and he's always giving me positive feedback. And he's always telling me, you looking good, John, you doing the right thing, I'm proud of you, this and the other and the third. And prior to them, I've had my mom in my corner.
That's great.
The rest of my family and my fiance. So
That's great.
along with God, once again, I have a great supporting cast.
You do.
And I just have to maintain and just, stay focused, Todd.
So
And it's easy.
And it's, I'm sure now you're on that path and that road to full recovery in terms of coming back into and being that citizen that you had hoped to be.
Yes, sir.
So my question to you is, now that you're moving along and making those advances and making those strides and those advancements, is there any point in your life where perhaps you might reach back and help someone else?
Yes, sir. Prior to being in the mission, I did a lot to help people myself, even though I was in the position I was in. I had a lot of my friends I helped get jobs, the place where I used to work, or other jobs, where I heard about. And far as like people that I see on the street, that were in the same position that I was once in, I try to give them a positive word, a positive hand, to do whatever I can to help anyone, because it's not easy. It's hard out there, Todd,
Right.
and you got to have a focus and a straight mind.
Right.
Yes.
It's hard for anyone.
Yes, sir.
But then those of us who have kind of fallen through the cracks, as it were, to get back into and to work our way back to, that's even more difficult. So my hat goes off to you. If I had a hat, I would take it off to you, because that is really amazing. And when I met some of the men who were residing at that time, this was about a year ago, at the DePaul House, I was so impressed that was my journey to get the DePaul House out here and let the community at large see, because I know a lot of the students from LaSalle volunteer their time
Yes, they do.
over at the DePaul House.
Yes.
But just to see and attach a face and a name to the DePaul House, John Lewis, people will see your face and attach that name and say, hey, look, if he can make it, I can make it too.
Yes.
And that story is a story that perpetuates throughout for those who find themselves locked out and find themselves, in transition.
Right.
So for you, that journey has been, I know you've been at the DePaul House 5 months, but how long was it from the time that you lost your apartment and got all the way through now the 5 months at the DePaul House? How long a journey has that been for you?
It's been a year and a half. Like I said, I went through a lot. I went through 2 apartments. The first one was, it was on fire. It caught on fire like at 3 o'clock in the morning, so I had to jump out a 2nd floor window.
Wow.
So I've been through a lot, man. A lot of adversity. I had to go stay at the place out in West Philly, Salvation Army, I had to go stay there for a minute first.
Right.
So I overcame that, and then I got the second apartment that I just recently lost, and I just, at first I didn't know what to do because I was trying to do it my way, and my way wasn't working.
Right.
So I had to turn my life into my Savior and put my hands and trust in Him.
All right.
And everything so far has been working so wonderful.
That's great. That's great. I'm glad to have met you and to have seen you face to face, because again, you give people hope. You instill hope in people, and someone viewing this program may say, well, because they view you and see and hear your testimony, hear your life story, it may turn their life around, or it may make them want to say, hey, I want to give some time to the DePaul House, or I want to give some of my resources to DePaul House, or I want to volunteer my time. And so in many ways, you give hope to people who are in transition and those who desire to help people who are in transition. So you got a great story, John, and I hope that you will continue to go on the path that you've been going. And I'm looking forward to seeing and hearing great things from you. You're going to get married and 2 jobs. So, man, you got something on your hands. You really do.
Yes, sir.
But we wish you all the best. I know you're going to do well. You got a great smile, great personality, great attitude. And so, man, just hats off to you and to Nick Greer, who was on earlier.
Yes.
You guys at the DePaul, helping people help themselves is a real testimony of how great this city is,
Yes,
and the services that it provides.
Yes, I have to thank Nick too, also, because he's always there. You know, laughter is the key, is the medicine. And,
That's
you know,
right. That's
sometimes you have to laugh to keep from crying, and he's always there to keep me, to keep me going.
That's
And he
good.
gives me positive outlook.
Well, if you were around me for more than an hour, you would laugh too, because I'm always been a class clown. But again, thank you. We thank you for tuning in. For when one's on the right, another's on the left. When we reach towards the middle, we begin to bridge the gap. Until next time, love somebody and be nice to everybody. Bye for now.